out here for you. You don't know what it's like to be me out here for you.
We choose truth over facts.
Never go full retard.
Come on, man. How's that, Mr. Squiggle? Is that a little bit better? There you go. Everyone that comes to this video is going to come on, see that I'm silent. They're going to go, that's the best. And then they're going to probably get out of here. But here we go. This should be a little bit better. I don't even know what happened then. Naturally, it takes about 3 hours to prepare these streams. And unfortunately, sometimes you don't realise till we go on. Let's have a look at this video, and this should say it all as an introduction, and then we'll get into you guys. G'day, Navy Vet. If you're a long-time listener, if you're a moderator, the guys in blue in comment. If you're someone who is a subscriber, if you are a Patreon member, one-on-one counselling, if you are someone who is a member, or whether this is your very, very first time here, I'm here to help you. Let me be the circus master. Let my hair grow. The worry that you pile upon me as I solve the problems with you, for you, to help you have a career like I did in the Australian Army, infantry, the spear point, excluding commandos and SASR. But I couldn't have done it without my brothers over in Cav either. So well done to those. I didn't appreciate them as much as what I should have until I got out of the... Guys, how good is that picture too? Painted by Magoo from the God Squad. The bikers down in Melbourne, so good. And they have a clubhouse also in the Ukraine. Did you know that? But enough of me. Guys and gals, if you want to go to the Air Force, you don't want to be a pilot, go to Jetstar. But if you want to become Navy, be one of the submariners, be the strategic asset that denies China from our Pacific Ocean, or the waterways, or the South China Seas. They might want to be locked into a submarine with other men they call sailors and seamen, which is weird. Probably tastes like chicken. You know, they can't scream and no one can hear them when they do. Maybe you want to join the army. Maybe you want to do an apprenticeship. Maybe you think that you've got leadership ability and you want to become an officer. Maybe you just want to come and be infantry and be part of the journey, the adventure, the mateship, the teamwork, the legacy. And guys and gals, all I can do is say to you, the best thing that you can possibly do is come and join me on Patreon. Where is it? On the Bat Phone. Bam, right here. One-on-one counselling and assist you for the price of a coffee a month, and give you the dream. Because I've been out of the military for 10 years now, and I'm telling you now, there's retirement in your wheelhouse. There's not. I'm retired, medically retired. It sucks. You think retirement would be awesome? No, it's not. You've got to find meaning, task, purpose, mission. Because no one else is doing it. And when they do, they're normally got their own responsibilities with families, etc. Maybe they're dealing with the problems with their head. Maybe they're dealing with the problems of the bum or the back or the knees or the ankles that used to look like she should have been on a calendar, but now that looks like she can't fit on it. You know, it's up to you. Not trying to be nasty here. Best friend will always be a dog. The world is in chaos.
It feels like it's in flames, but it feels like the pendulum is swinging back to normality. Guys and gals, if you want stability, if you want finances, if you want advice, if you want mateship and tutorials on how to be the best version of yourself, and you want a one-on-one solution just programmed for you through conversation, through learning, through advice from those that have walked every lane that you need to, including the atrocities, including the smells, the taste, the horrible shit, make stories. Let's get in your wheelhouse and create the future you that will one day be sitting down maybe with a Sean Ryan on a podcast or a Joe Rogan as you did him out of this village. That's Kaz from the Trenches with Kaz. Happy to have you here. It is my pleasure, and you're sending me great by the day with your great news, your good news, but sometimes the ugly. Take it easy. I'm with you, and I still call Australia home. I wish I had the trucks and the big steaks, the big boobs, and the big guns being the USA. But Australia, see ya.
There you go, team. There you go. So I'll get that off the screen there so it doesn't get weird. And I'll change the background, although that's all we should ever need in the background. One flagpole. That's all we should ever have. But let's come down and replace this with something more fitting. I love this one, and it is the meritocracy. Bring back the meritocracy. Let's go for this one. A protector born or made. I believe they're made. I believe the way you're treated by others turns you into a protector because you know what it looks like when you see someone acting in a way that is unacceptable, and then it comes down to a moment where you step up. That's what it's about. Do you step up or don't you? Because a lot of people talk about being protectors, talk about being sheepdog, but do they get out of their seat to say, not on my watch, motherfucker? So, guys, why do you want to join the army? Do you even know why you want to join the military? We're seeing a whole bunch of people here that are going soon, that have just had their interviews. It's all about face with recruiting. The interview should be the very first video that you do. The very first time you walk in and meet recruiting. There is no reason why you shouldn't be able to walk straight into, g'day, mate, why you shouldn't be able to walk straight in a recruiting office unless they're going to admit that we've got an Islamic terrorist problem and say, okay, this is the way I walk. This is the strides I wear. This is the boots that get me from point to A to B. Look how wide my shoulders are. Look how tapered my waist is. Look how strong my jawline is. Or I want all of the above things to expand. You need me on that wall. A conversation over a cup of coffee is how we get people to come to stay. Now, Kiwi, there you go. What can you give me? Nebula Edge is a Kiwi. Everything always. Did you get a patch lead, Kaz? Smooth like butter. Guys, these slouch hats, this is the way every single slouch hat was all the way up until the late 90s. And the reason why the slouch hat had the dip was because it's windy in the tropics, and also you want that sun out of your eyes. And mine was also dipping from looking at other people's wives and saying, maybe in another life, young lady. Boom, there you go. So it's all about compliments that put the bend in this hat. And yes, this was the slouch hat I wore up until the day I left the army. Yep, no one ever told me flatten that brim. If they did, I'd bend it even further for their wife. The best man at most weddings I'd been to, except my own. She left me. Cryptic Aussie. G'day, mate. Hold that any closer and I'll be worried you're re-enlisting in the Navy. Mate, why don't you come for a tour with me in a submarine, where no one can hear you or me scream, and we'll see which one of us gets the loneliest. There you go. Team, the reason why I haven't got the Skippy badge on there is because I can't find it. I was using it in a video somewhere, but normally your hat badge will be on the front, so when you know you're talking to someone, you don't end up with a Simon Powell coming over with an Adji's hat badge and trying to tell you knows what you're talking about. Tip of the hat there, Simon Powell, our filthy Raffy. In year 8, want to join? Do you have any advice? Yes, mate. Do your schoolwork. Do it well. And remember that is your mission. That is your mission until you actually get to year 10 or 12, and make that difference. You can apply when you're 17. I recommend you go when you're 19. If you go when you're 17, you need permission off your parents still, okay, for everything you do. I understand you've got the calling starts early, right? I understand that when you go to join the military, you should not release yourself from school, release yourself from employment until you've actually got an enlistment date, not an interview, an enlistment date. You passed everything they said we want you. This is the day you're going in. Bam. You're going to have your balls out in winter. That's how you know it's time to get on the bus, time to say goodbye to the old life, open the door, and there you are to the new life that has every single thing you could ever want. Not C. Mason. Honestly, become the best version of myself and soldier I can possibly be, to be surrounded by the best to work in a career path with all of my heart, to find a brotherhood and family to serve Australia. That's a fantastic answer. If you said that to me in the recruiting office, I think I've got one or two sort of guys here. I think one, I've got someone who's a dedicated future VC winner, or I think I've got a goddamn psycho. And then I'd ask you some other questions to see which one it is. Shane Summers enlisted as a Choco last July, went to Kapuka in November, and now loving life in the Royal Tasmanian Regiment. That must cost you a fortune, and your unit, when you've got to have 2 helmets and 2 hats for 2 heads. What about your sleeping bag? Does that have 2 hoods? We're going to take the piss out of you. The Tasmanians always get teased. Can we get some thumbs up for the Cryptic Aussie that's also funding my daughter's future by giving a very generous donation? The colour of turmeric. Well done, mate. I appreciate you. Thank you. Murphy, because I passed my education part for the Army. It's a weird one, that one, isn't it? Smart enough to join the Army when we could be comfortable. Watch this now. Can you join with one healthy kidney? I really don't know. Most of the people in the Army have a sick liver. I can't see why not. Lonely is going, hey, Kaz, do you reckon this is a good reason to join the Army? I want to join so I can get fitter, prove myself to everyone that ever doubted me, and serve my country. Well, I would say that's one of the biggest reasons people do join, to escape their previous life, their lonely is gone, and allow them to actually show people the boy, the man this boy can be, as they say in Skater Girl. Yep. And you will change. You will go away a boy and you will come back a man. And, as long as you lean into that, you can keep leveling up like it's a computer game your entire goddamn career. Eventually you might say, I don't even get worked enough on 40 clickers and dismounted activities or air mobile operations. I need to do more. I want to go for special forces and go to the sledgehammer. Sorry there, Scotty. And go to commandos, or go over to the scalpel and join SASR, the best berets in the world. Can I get double the weapons? I'll take it. You can, but you'll get sick of it pretty quick there, Shane. How long did I enlist for? I was in there for 24 years before my anus gave up with Crohn's disease. Okay, and also a bit of PTSD, so they called it, from my time in Rwanda, for those that know a little bit about my background or have watched Matty Morris on Zero Limits. Fantastic guy. He has the voice of the people down pat. Let me quickly just change hats. We've got Carl P here. His son has just made a video, stop motion video, which is absolutely fantastic. So well done to him. Great job. Let me just change hats here. I love this one, but I don't want to look like an imposter. That's right. Still full head of hair there, ladies. Bam. Here we go. This is the Oracle Eye. Watch this. You ready? Sorry. When you've got a green screen and then you put something green in front of it, boom, the all-seeing eyes. That's like the sailor standing behind me in his Roman uniform. Can you answer, after your case manager called, how long did you have to wait until interviews and assessments? Mate, so it can take forever, dude. It can take forever, or it can be fast as hell. We've got guys that rang up today that just say they can't believe how quick it's going for them. It all comes down to the professionalism of the manager that you've got. And one thing I think that is starting to occur as well, Meso, is the fact that I believe at the moment Kapuka is fully subscribed to for the next few months. So what's happening is they're taking their foot off the pedal a little bit, having one extra coffee a day and taking their time to get through to people, because they're thinking, yeah, well, the Army's basically full at Kapuka at the moment. Even though it says that it's a priority for things, you can still only fit so many people through Kapuka. I think Army Reserve should be pulled away from going to Kapuka because it takes up some of the resources we have in training areas there, and go back to our Bardia barracks, go back to our Ingleburn environments, and go back to the 2-week course to become a general service soldier, and then do modular training after that and keep the mods going. I reckon that would be the answer, so we could put extra platoons through Kapuka. No, you're veteran. Okay, military life for me is downing half a bottle of whiskey, then doing the 10K cross-country on Holsworthy track in the rain. Mate, that sounds like my first 40 years. Team, I joined when I was 19. I got out when I was, 45? 44, 45? And I can tell you now, the one big regret that I had was drinking as often as I did, up to 3 or 4 times a week to be around the boys, the herd. You know, when I was platoon sergeant, I might as well have been in an outlaw motorcycle club, because I would have been equivalent to the sergeant of arms in a 30-man platoon or chapter if you want to, and there was always someone to go out and have a beer with. You know, one of the soldiers, some of the soldiers, drinking games, section commanders, officers. It just made a difference whether you're wearing thongs or chinos to a wine bar, to a steakhouse, or going to the sea view with a pair of thongs. I wish I hadn't drank as much. I really do. Yeah, my parents don't agree with it. It sucks. I'm 17 next week and I want to join as soon as possible, says Murphy. Take your time, son. Take your time. When you're 18, you don't need your parents' advice. And if your parents don't stand by it, they need to be able to tell you what they want you to do instead. And the reason why they don't like it is that they don't like they're scared of the leadership of our country. Is it scared that they don't like the military? Are they really lefties? Or is it they don't think you can do it? Work out which one of them it is, and then you'll be able to have a better conversation with them. Still respect their views, but because they're doing it because they love you. Wait. Okay. Read there's a 5-month long waiting list for infantry at DFR. They say there's a crisis when they can't manage the intakes. There is what there is there's so many oversubscribed positions for infantry. Yep. There's more than what they can actually put into platoons and then put into the School of Infantry, platoons going through there, which are named after battle honours. Okay, I really want to join. I've heard the recruitment process could take years and I'm going overseas soon. Okay, Juicy, then apply. Okay, go through the steps you can do. Right? Would you be willing to come back if they said you've got a position now? This is the way it works. With the military, when you want to join, when you work out why you want to join, and you start, understand that the closer you are to the spear point, right, the more it's about mateship, adventure, okay, being tested. The further down you come to combat support is going to be more about doing a job, getting civilian tickets and stuff like that. Less adventure. Yeah, the higher it is, the most dangerous it is, the more adventure, the more it is about the soldiers, about the weapons. Don't expect to come down here, to some of the support corps and still be working on the weapons all the time, because a lot of their command elements are too busy doing paperwork, right? To be organising ammunition to be sent over to A-class rangers and then getting qualified NCOs to act as safety supervisors. Nazi Mason, I've been told enlistment for infantry is about 3/4 of the way through the year. It may be correct. It may be correct, but I'd rather be in the list than getting in the list late. Scared of going to war because of this crap of World War III. That's ridiculous. Yeah, that's ridiculous. I wouldn't worry about that. We've lost just over 40 men in the last 30 years, and most of those were due to Black Hawk accidents. Okay? Drop Bear. Kaz, isn't that a good thing that there is too many people who want to do infantry? I believe it is. I do believe that is. Because that means then you can expand the battalions, delink some of the battalions, have more people on the ground. But the problem is there's a concertina effect. So when you have too many joining, what happens is 4 years later, there's a mass exodus, and then all of a sudden there's not enough. And it does this. So you need to take them as they turn up. But we've got position numbers to say we only need this many, which is wrong. We need as many as we can get. Blakey Smith, he's had some great news in the last couple of days. scoring really high with everything, and it looks like he's got his golden ticket ready to go. Well done, my man. Score 96. Well, his list is a priority role. So I guess so. Yep, it can be a priority role, but they still don't have enough beds to put you in. Yep. It's like the Democrats needed a billion people to come from the South American nations to come in and give them extra college votes, but they didn't have enough beds to put them in, so they put them in first class hotels in New York, and California, where you couldn't afford to go, but they didn't have enough beds. M. Davos, I want to become the best version of myself. I want to sacrifice now so I can have an awesome future with my daughter. Mate, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. I've got a daughter. I love her to bits. It's a biological curse how much I love her. But yeah, unfortunately, she didn't get to see me in uniform, and that's one of the saddest things, that she didn't get to respect Dad coming home in uniform, covered in filth, explosive cordite, the smell of gunpowder on my hands, gun oil, fingernails ripped off, missing tooth, all of the different things that come with being military. Mate, my mum would die if she knew I was joining up. Sorry, Mum. That's okay, Cryptic Aussie. She'll get used to it. She'll follow you, and you can visit her because you'll be getting up to 12 weeks off a year. Lots of talk about national service and mineral compulsory 1 year after school. What do you reckon? Rodiger, I absolutely agree with national service. Our country is slipping into the abyss. Okay, relationships next to impossible. Spirituality going out the door. Immigration out of control. People with drugs, people with alcohol, people with too much KFC, no fitness, no sport, no friends, but all the bad habits, LGBT conditioning, the grooming, the transgender that hate themselves more than everyone, that compel us to do this and compel us to do that, but hate anything that's normal. Cardio for the military, absolutely. G'day, Limits. How you going, buddy? I always think of Matty Morris when I see No Limits. Zero limits. National service, we need it. So does the UK. Teach people. When I was in Israel, that's where I got this from. Look at that. Bam. Okay, this crucifix here. Thank you, Jesus, for your sacrifice. We've just had some of our Islamic friends join us on Patreon today. Well done. Can't wait to meet them. Allah Akbar. I agree. God is great. Well, I got that in Jerusalem, paid for by the taxpayer, which is you. Okay. Thank you very much. Again, a trip that I did to Israel and saw people that lived and had all been through national service. Every single person in a national service country has the reason to go over to anyone and ask them, what unit were you in? Okay. What was your group size? What, do you know this guy? Do you know that gal? There's no disadvantage to the country of national service. The only people it offends is left-leaning freaks that want the world to be about themselves. Yeah. There we go, Cryptic Aussie says 450 million for a stupid referendum, can't spare 100K for the last post. This country is going to shit. It is, but I love it. And every day I see awesome people that I really do respect and love. Nutter 77, g'day, Kaz, everyone. I just can't see myself anywhere else. I used to look up the Marines as a kid, a lot as a kid, living in the States. Absolutely, mate. That's why they call it the calling. Let me know in comments right now, why do you want to join? I can tell you why you want to join. You just don't know it yet. When I say it, when I amplify it, all of a sudden it's poof. And I'm not talking about Navy. Yes, that's why I want to join. That's what I can't say to mum. That's what I can't say to dad, so that they don't realize it's not about the effing shekels. That's money, team. It's not about the sesterces. It's about the mateship. It's about the adventure. It's about every day seeing what are we doing next week. Holy shit, we're going to Tully in a month. That's going to suck. Get me gear ready. You don't need a bivvy bag, team. I don't know why they keep telling you that. Navy veteran, best advice I can give is don't rush into military life, become an adult at 18 and enlist to become a man. But this is a Navy guy, but be careful. You've got to have one before you can be one, they used to say. But getting life experience will put you ahead of the pack. Absolutely. This is a man that's been out in angry oceans that knows what it's like to live. the call of the sea. UK is going to shit, needs good leadership. It needs to absolutely get rid of its immigration problem. They need to risk being racist in order to get their country back aligned. Because if they don't, they're not going to recover from this at all. And when you first join the military, what should you expect? Okay, what you should expect, this is an easy one, is to see a side of human nature you didn't expect. To see a sign where people absolutely glitch, they don't know what is happening. They're not used to having no control. They're not used to having no mobile phone. They're not used to being told when they can't go to bed. No limits. There is yelling, as you say there, sure, but it doesn't mean they're angry. It means sense of urgency, training. They're trying to get rid of the civilian out of you, so you start to think of the team. Move fast. If I'm running, you're running. Don't ask me why. Just copy what I do. Pardon me. Watch this now, because it's my purpose. There is nothing else for me. Jenny G. Experience may vary, as they say, absolutely. And it's also going to depend a hell of a lot on what corps you're going into. If you're going into infantry, then you know when you get in there that your reputation has already started. You'd better listen, because you've got a lot harder training that's waiting for you at the end of that 9 weeks. It goes for 16 weeks, and it's probably going to be in winter and summer with overlap with people that are going to be at a much higher pace than the all-service soldiers that you're around in Kapuka. There's other people that think I'm going to transport, so when I go down to Pucka, all I'm going to do is learn how to eat the sausage rolls, eat the pie, avoid PT, get into the rigs and listen to Driving Wheels from Jimmy Barnes and keep myself out of the shit and hopefully get a shag. They're actually quite regimental as well, actually. Yeah. But everyone's experience will be different, but the more yours is towards a combat corps, okay, then when you get yelled at the School of Artillery, when you get yelled at Pucka as well with Cav, or when you get yelled at the School of Infantry, sometimes they're actually angry because you know better. You're a qualified Australian soldier. They expect you to man up, right? And they don't expect to say things twice. And when you can't do it, the whole group will get punished, and then they'll come and say hello to you later where you live, in your room. Don't eat ice cream if you're a man. That's the quickest way to show people you belong to the Rainbow Coalition. Get as fit as you possibly can. You won't overtrain. You won't be too fit. Remember what JFK said? What did he say? Bucko. Cryptic, you reckon the USA will pull out of NATO? I don't think they're going to. They may, I don't know, because they're also trying to win the messaging with Russia, and NATO solely exists for the ceasing of the expansion of USSR/Russia after World War II. With the with Article 5, attack one, attack all. So, Europe has absolutely taken the piss out of the USA. This might be something they do or may not do, depending on what it means for the BlackRock rebuilding of the Ukraine. And let's say a quick prayer there. God, be with those guys from Ukraine, those gallant soldiers that actually faced the battle to save their country instead of running and becoming immigrants or illegal immigrants. They stayed and they fought. Please put your head down. I don't want to see any of those lovely blokes who are already going to have life, which is going to be as bad as the war when this ends and they turn around and see the state of their country and the way they get looked at and the no thanks for their government. Don't get killed in the last hours of the battle, of the war. Please, guys, this is the time to put your head down. No offensives. Think of your family and your future kids. Lonely's gone. Kaz, my parents don't care if I join the army, he says. When I'm older, but their only concern is that I'll get PTSD from Afghanistan. Well, that's over, especially if I want to join the SAS. What do you think I should tell them? Well, for starters, Afghanistan's been over for years for Australians. The next one is normally PTSD comes not from us doing our job. PTSD occurs when we do something that is unrighteous to ourselves, when we see the way other cultures fight wars, the way they treat themselves, the way they treat each other, the atrocities. Mine are from watching the savages of Rwanda, who no sooner did they make themselves the victim as the Tutsis, but then they turned around and did the same kind of massacres to women and children of the Hutus. And now they're over next to the Central Republic of Congo carrying out atrocities against civilians over there. PTSD, it doesn't happen as often as you think. It happens a lot, but sometimes there's a lot of grey matter, man. When you've got people who've also an alcohol problem, when you've got people who also with the marriage problem, also with the finance problem, all those things can come in and get labelled. Expert Badass, that's a pretty good name. Kaz, mate, it's me, your favourite RAFI officer candidate. How good was that OSB result? Lads, if you want insights into the officer roles or need help with the ADF recruitment process, hit up Sergeant Kaz. Thank you very much, Expert Badass. That's a nice prop there. I have had very few people that come to this channel that don't get remarkable results. And it's not just because I assist them. It's because we actually prepare you in a way so that people less qualified than myself, because I've been doing this for over 10 years, when they hear you talk and they hear you communicate, they hear your mission, task, and purpose, then they think this guy is more qualified than me. Let him in. The bureaucracy of it can let you down, sure. But I don't hear anyone that comes from our channel that doesn't go in there and avoid pitfalls of confessions, but also come out getting told, Jesus, you turned up well prepared, mate. Well done. We also had someone that wants to go to intelligence that got through yesterday. We also got a young lass that looks like she's going to water transport. It's always good. I just can't see myself sitting in an office computer 9 to 5 running up hills with guns, stories to tell. Absolutely. That's what it's about. Having a life that is set apart. Carl P. Let's go, cavalry. Lonely is gone. What do you got to say? Kaz, my parents don't care if I join when I'm older. Okay, that was what we were saying before. From Afghanistan, what should you be doing to train for the fitness test? Mate, do everything. Do swimming, okay? Be swimming, be doing boxing, be doing rowing, do running 2.4 kilometers, not the beep test, okay? And do it to intensity where you become the you versus you. Look up your local park run. That will set you well. That'll allow you to compete against others. Mr. Buckery says, sorry, Kaz, I am off the USA and Trump is gone rogue. Turning on his mates can't be trusted as far as I'm concerned. Which ones? Bucko, which one? It is time for Australia to stand on our own 2 feet and stop being reliant on the USA. That won't happen, can't happen, shouldn't happen. If China ever sensed that we were all by ourselves, Buckaroony, it'd be all over for you, all over for Rafa. Your tinny won't keep up, won't be able to do it. We don't have enough time at the moment to even build our fleet now. We need the support of our US coalition brothers. Okay, they're there, they're on our land. If they sense that Australia was all by himself and all we had was the defence force we have now, they'd be honest, like a fat chick on the last plate of the buffet. We'd be done, mate. It's like drinking alone in South Townsville. You don't go in there alone either. Or West End. JWF Adventures. I'm thinking about maybe joining the reserves when I'm older. How old are you, mate? Definitely combat role. Don't know whether to go into engineers, infantry, or armoured. I'd say infantry or armoured, unless you want to get tickets as well. Where did you do your sub 1 corporal course? Sub 1 corporal. Or Andy, that was in Townsville. Yep, I ended up being an instructor on that course as well. America saved us from the Japanese. Yeah, it did. I did. They're the only people that came and helped us actually when New Guinea was in danger. I did 3 maybe 2.4 kilometers in 13 minutes up hills. I'm not peak fitness at the moment. That's okay, mate. So you just got to get that down, my man. High school. No veteran, $10 for wingdings and a chocolate milk at Afghans, all you need after PT. That's what I love, is the fact that we don't have what do you call it? You don't eat breakfast when you're in a combat corps or you're in a unit that does hard PT. Normally what happens is you have a 9:30 sort of brunch where you go in and then you have your wingdings, your Coca-Cola and a pie, and Buckaroony, you'd know all about this one, chicken and beak, chicken hero. Would you reckon there was any chicken in those, Bucko? You'd bite them rolls. They were like the prehistoric rooster roll. And you'd be snap, crackle, pop of beak and toes. You know, you'd have to be from China to actually like it. Fine, mate, a live stream. How's it go, mate? Zeke, very good, mate. Very good. I thought we'd go back to the basics today, mate. I thought that's what we'd do. Bowerbird prospecting. What are the most current conflicts that you are watching or worried about, Kaz? I'm worried the gut truck was brekkie. When you say that, everyone that's ex-military, you know they feel guilty about the way they used to eat in the army. It's disgusting. What are the most current conflicts you are worried about? I'm definitely worried about what's happening with South Africa, with the atrocities against white farmers. I'm very nervous about what's happening with the innocence that's not getting covered by the news in Rwanda and the Central Republic of Congo. I'm very nervous about what's going to happen to the Ukrainian forces when this is over, and that's when they're really going to face some really savage problems. Who fought? Who didn't? Why not? How are you going to thank guys like that? Yeah, that's going to be a tough one. What about current conflicts? Okay, the gut, Nicholas Jones. I've been watching the channel for years now, and marched out of Kapuka 13th of December, and now at the School of Infantry, Nicholas Jones. Mate, School of Infantry, there's a lot of luck involved there, isn't there? There's also a lot of human dynamics between people. You're in there in a section where you've got a whole bunch of people with different personalities, different apex levels, that have to get together in a time of stress and compressed crucible, to be able to get through. It's very easy for people to try and be an individual. Nicholas, don't use your real name, mate. Not while you're in. That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Change your name to Saint Nick or something like that, and you'll be good to go. No, you're right, Meso. How worried am I about China? I'm not worried about China. China is most worried about China, mate. They've got a lot of problems themselves. Okay, it turns out they weren't actually in our waters the last few days. What they were in a position where they were in international waters but putting pressure on us, making us divert our international aircraft, etc., just being arseholes. Boozer. G'day, Kaz. I've been doing daily runs now. I'm curious to know if using weights on my runs would do the job. Don't carry any weights, just like you don't do carry weights or do dips with weights attached unless you're doing more than 12, okay? Unless you're trying to bring it back down to hypertrophy instead of muscular endurance. I'm hoping to join Army Aviation. Got to love those blue berets. Score 96, you're really going there for the double glazed windows, and the chocolate milk that might get delivered to you for free. You can't hear. Has anyone else got a problem with the... No one else has got a problem with the audio, mate. Simon Powell, at Tyndall we had a deep fried crumb beef burger thing with cheese in the middle on a bread roll covered in gravy. And look what it's done to you, mate. It took a jihad out on you. Audio Spine says, Score 96. G'day, Kaz. What are we talking about tonight? Southern Land Bushcraft. Great to see you, mate. Great to see you. Let's put you on the screen. Okay, so what we're talking about today is basically why do you want to enlist in the Australian Army, Air Force or Navy? Understanding most people don't actually know why they want to join. They've just got an itch to join and be part of something that is bigger than themselves, and it's never about the money. Lucky we're in a country where the money is great in the military, where when you look on houses, for example, we can look at it now if you want to. If you look at realestate.com and then go into North Queensland house prices, you can buy a 3-bedroom home for under $500,000, a unit on the water for $400,000 or under. You could pay a house off in 10 years up there. And it's incredible. Not to mention if you're renting anyway, you ain't going to be paying half market rent. Got one of the best swimming pools in the world. Chance of me running into Buckaroony while he's having Cactus Jacks. Here we go. Why do I wish to re-enlist? Because the diggers. Why do I wish to re-enlist? Because the diggers are pissed off, morale is low, and every man and his dog is trying to get out. And I think we've had the shit kicked out of us. I'm coming back to try. Okay. Look, quite often when soldiers whinging, that's when they're bored, But then it goes to the point where they're not bored anymore and they're being overworked. We work in a weird scale, but I guarantee you one thing: no one ever regrets joining. We get in, we get fed up, because a lot of the time we join at 18 or 19, and that's all we actually know. It's a really valuable one, Mr. 96. The reason is so many people will ask you, why did you join the Army? And you can say, hey, look, because for starters, how much time, if someone asks me, why did I join? Now, not when I'm 19, but now I'm giving you the gravy, the good oil. You can turn around and say to them, how many days do you get off a year? When was the last time you had 10 days off, for example? Yeah, well, that happens in the Army all the time. Okay, what about your gym time? Do you get to train during work hours? Just go down for an hour and a half to the gym, where you can go and do a gym session as well as a swim session, and then come back, have a coffee with someone else's wife, and then be back in uniform in time to go to the range? What about, have you ever been on a helicopter where you've been paid to do it? Have you been on a Navy vessel where you've been paid to do it? Have you been sent overseas traveling on government business passport? No. Okay. Do you know what it's like to have 20 or 30 mates around you every minute of the day? To always be more worried about how the hell do I say no to those 4 guys because I can only fit 6 into my vehicle? It's amazing. Being able to travel around Australia, go to any base, and then use their facilities using your ID card to get in. Have your actual surname on your uniform so people can see that being illuminated, having something to be proud of, dirty, grimy, wet, bloody, and wear that and make yourself proud. Be able to actually feel like you're an undercover, not an undercover, like you're a cop without the hatred that comes with it, walking through the town, being able to go to people and go, don't do that, mate. Don't do that. Be the good Samaritan in uniform. Be able to look people in the eye, dip your hat, and say, there you go, mate. And they know the area is better because you're there. There is so many good things. So many good things. Using equipment, meeting people from other countries, other cultures, getting a chance to go and potentially save people's lives in other countries. The list is long. The list is long. And if it's about money, again, we can show you how to do that, how to make more than $3 million in 30 years. By simply not buying a house, investing your money in ETFs with an average of 6 to 10.2% and come out a millionaire at 30 years, and that's not including your super on top of that, right? So many things. I'm about to go to a 30-year reunion in Townsville. It's the best. Do they squeeze your balls and make you cough, mate? Only if you're good looking, bucko. Aussie. Good news and bad news, Kaz. I pulled the plug on RMC and I'm going in to transfer to ORs. Came to the realization that I want to wear the green, but I want to do it as an OR, not an O. Okay, as an officer. Aussie, let's have a chat and let's have a talk about it. I've got no dramas with it, but I can tell you what happens after this. Make sure we have a conversation, yeah? Movie Shed, apparently it's only 5 weeks you get off in the Army. Is it 12 weeks? Yes, mate. So I can tell you just quickly, because this is an important one, team. You get about 10 days off at Easter. You get about 10 days off at September. And then if you're not in training, you'll have your days in the book on top of the commander's grant that happens at the end of each year, righto? If you're in training, we've just had guys get 8 weeks off. You know, after that only just finished 9 weeks of Kapuka, got to School of Infantry, perfect timing, and then told, see you later, come back in 2 months. And they still managed to get some sons of bitches come back and fail the fitness test, the BFD, the basic fitness diagnostic. You've got to be able to run under 11-18, team. Yeah? If not, you're going to get left behind. If not, you're not going to be able to keep up in fire and movement, okay, in the 4 stages of the attack, the preparatory stage, okay, the assault, okay, the exploitation, and then the reorganization. Yeah? If you try to use your age as leverage to go slower, you're going to die when it comes to doing the fitness, because we don't ask you your age when we're outfield. You just go at the pace of the group, and the group doesn't go at the speed of the slowest. It drags the slowest, and there's no quitting when you're in a field environment. Okay, drop there. Sorry, drop there. I want to join the adventure mateship, especially now I'm older. The benefits are just too good to give it a crack. Not just for me, but for my family too. Absolutely. Stability to your family. By coming down to half market rent, you know, or getting house assistance packages, all right, you can probably afford to have your missus stay at home and look after the little one. Regan Smits, I have an interview and medical on Wednesday for infantry. Any last tips? Okay, Regan Smits, male or female? Mate, if you're female, I'm sorry, I don't recommend females go to infantry at all. You know, but that's me saying that. You know, 3 times infantry instructor, 24-year infantry veteran. If you want to get on to, if you're a bloke, because Regan I always thought was a lady's name, jump onto Patreon, and you and I can have a great conversation. We can have a talk about different things, how to skin a cat in a different way. And don't believe when I say this, that I'm saying I don't like girls. What I'm saying is a female's life expectancy in infantry is low. And I don't mean life as in metaphorically low. I mean in reality low. I mean metaphorically. It doesn't work out very well. Okay, let's just post you past you session. Any advice for OSB infantry officer? Milos, anything to do with OSB, you need to get onto the bat phone on Patreon, Black Legion, because if you do, we've got a 100% success rate except for one, you know, and there was a reason because of that. And I can't say that out loud here, but I can tell you later. You're in a Cayman Navy veteran. I think I'd lose my mind if I ate scran for a decade. Buckaroonie, my doctor had very cold hands, but you're a good-looking man when you were younger, Bucko. No wonder they manhandled you. I've always wondered about birthdays. Is it just a regular day in the Army? It's just a regular day, mate. Simon Powell. I remember as a kid playing cricket in the front yard. 4 Army Unimogs drove past. All 8 of us kids stopped and saluted. All the soldiers drove past and saluted us. It was awesome. Yeah, we'll play the game. If you can make a kid's day, you know, then you do it. You know, you make them happy, because what you might have done is what I'm doing now, is you're giving someone, you know, guidance and something to strive towards. You know, not just a sports hero, but an Australian hero. The loudest captain. Aussie. Yeah, I just had 2 weeks in July, August, 6 weeks for Christmas last year, and we'll get another 2 in April, and then another 6 in December. There we go. Not only that, you'll get paid to go on holidays. if you drive from Townsville down to Sydney, you'll get extra money, in travel to pay for your fuel and all that sort of shit to get down there. Don't abuse the card, but. Okay, Sam, I did this. What would you think of enlisting in the infantry right after school? I did this. It is a hard way to do it. Just remember, you'll be a boy and you're going to be surrounded by men and those in purgatory between boy and man. So there can be some feeling out problems. Don't go in there sensitive. You need to make sure you're extra fit if you go in there very young. Some truth here. Mr. Buckerini says, left wheel, continue wheel to pick up the slug that can't keep up. Absolutely. Oh, Regan, sorry. You're a dude. Mate, I've never heard, and I'm not trying to insult you, mate. It sounds German there, but Regan has always been a female name that I've heard. I used to have a crush on a girl called Regan, actually. I wonder how she's doing now. I wonder if she thinks of Kaz. Probably not. Zeke. I think the best advice I've ever seen for the OSB is being honest and being yourself. I've still got mine to come the end of May, but just do your prep for it and then just be you. That's who they want. No, I wouldn't agree with that. There is things you can definitely do wrong because if you just be you, there's a big difference between someone who has leadership and someone who has a personality disorder and someone who's just a goddamn manager, righto? So be careful of that advice. Be careful of that advice. There is certain questions they are going to ask you. If you're not prepared for those, you might look like you are underprepared or that you might have a personality disorder. Max's channel. Max, do you have a channel? I'll go and check it out. Milos Media. I'll see you there. Thanks, Hattie. Murphy Shepherd. I'm trying to join out of high school, and I'm not waiting unless I get rejected. I know for a fact I'll be the ball squeeze. There you go. So you're a good-looking lad, you reckon? Well, once you've got yourself in a flight pattern, mate, let us know. Let us know, and we'll see what we can do to help you along your way. Because if you're not, I'm not here to talk people out of doing something completely. I'm here to guide you. Why do you want to join? Because I want adventure. I want the mateship and the brotherhood. I want to be part of something bigger. I want to follow the Anzacs' footsteps. I want to have a righteous life. Right? I want stability. I want to be part of the military. And this is what my capabilities are. I want to build a basement of skills so I know myself impeccably so that whatever I do next, I've got more chance of being successful because I know what it's like to be humble. I know what it's like to fail and then get picked up and dust it off and go back at it again. Max's channel says, actually got a question. Do diggers care about much about elections? How much do they chat creep in the barracks? They don't care about Australian elections because we don't have any leaders. What they tend to care about is US elections because they guide where we go next. We don't often just say we're going to go and commit to something. We're normally on the coalition force orbit where we go and help people as part of a supporting mission. Yep. So this is a massive one, seeing the right come back and push what's his name? Weekend at Bernie's out of the picture. And that's why we're seeing recruiting in the US skyrocketing. Okay, Mr. Buckerini, you spent a lot of birthdays in a gun pit. It sucked. Made up for it after the exercise, but mate, you should try having a birthday on Anzac Day. Rastafarian, haircut. Is 21 a good age to join? I'd say that's probably the perfect age, Rastafarian. I do. 21, you know what you're in for. You know what life's about. You've been out of school. You've got a recordable past, and you're ready for a change. Absolutely. A sabbatical. Paddy, any chance of doing university part-time alongside Army? Absolutely. We've got guys in Special Forces. Benjamin Chuck, God bless his soul, rest in peace. They shall not grow old as we the left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. And at the going down of the sun and in the morning, We will remember them. Benjamin Chuck. He was doing all his studies and became a helicopter pilot as well. And then he lost his life in a helicopter in Afghanistan, right beside his best mates. Yeah, Tim Applin, another friend of mine, and Scotty Palmer. Not too cow there, Benjamin Chuck. And to his father, Gordon, a fantastic man. Do I think... I don't think there's going to be wars as such, mate. I think what there's going to be is skirmishes, support, potentially conflicts, things on the periphery. I might be wrong. I goddamn hope I'm wrong. But one thing you can be rest assured, we are at this stage on what you would perceive to be the good guy side. I think our chances of conflict are going to be internally. Yeah. This is one of the things that the US is about to face now that they've actually put a terrorism, conventions and rules of engagement on actual cartels. Press like if you can, team. By putting terrorism onto cartels, on the 6 different cartels they have, that means they can use military in the interior of the US instead of police. That means tanks. That means helos. That means, special forces, regular forces, MPs, police dogs on your nuts. The Dave enlistment. Davo, what I'd say is buy yourself a beautiful set of leather shoes because they'll last your entire career. Whether that be a pair of nice brown RM Williams or some goat skin, alpaca boot, whatever it is, that can be something that stays with you for the rest of your career. Is the dress standard, pair of chinos, nice shirt, get a suit. You're going to wear one anyway when you go to military functions, the ball, etc. You should have a battalion ball every year as well, like a footies grand final, not grand final, NRL or AFL ball. Bring the girls, leave with someone else's. Other than that, tell your parents that when they see you, they're not going to have much time with you, on the enlistment day. They'll come in, they'll listen to the speech from an Army representative. You'll get a photo with your enlistment certificate. Then you'll have like 5 minutes, 10 minutes max to be with your family, get a photo, then get onto the bus. So, it's not always worth having people come a long way for that. And the same deal, I think that you should give your family the choice. Do they want to be there for your march out at Kapuka or your march out at the School of Infantry? Because both can be very expensive. And there's nothing worse when someone has all the family turn up to Kapuka and then you don't make it through Singo, and all that pride that was there a few weeks earlier now is gone. You're in a coma. Davo, get to be able to hug your loved ones. The game is about to change forever. Absolutely. Everything in your life, everything changes. Everything. Your expectations from friendships. Financially, knowing you're now getting paid by the king's coin. Knowing that for most people, it'll be the first time they've ever lived away from home. The fact that no one's there to help you scream. You have to stand up. You have to be the solution for all of your own problems now. These things can be tough, team. They can be. You grow up fast, but you learn from everyone around you. You learn what not to be like, but also what to be like. So everything that you do in the military, 24-hour cycle, is a learning experience where you're going to see people fold, fail, quit, but you're going to see other people with resilience, with compassion and respect, self and projected to others. I should record this. You're going to see the best of people, but you're also going to see the worst. You're going to see jack motherfuckers. because it does bring out the worst in people as well as the best. Okay, team, we're going to get out of here now. What I'll do is I'll quickly play this one video in case you weren't there for the first couple of minutes, and then we'll answer one more question, and then we'll be out of here. Why did you want to join the Army, Air Force, or Navy? You need to be able to answer that question.
We're going. It is Kaz from In the Trenches with Kaz, and I'm here to say thank you to you. If this is your first time here, if you're a long-time listener, if you're a moderator, the guys in blue in comments, if you're someone who is a subscriber, if you are a Patreon member, one-on-one counselling, if you are someone who is a member in green, or whether this is your very, very first time here, I'm here to help you. Let me be the hair grow grey with the worry that you pile upon me as I solve the problems with you, for you, to help you have a career like I did in the Australian Army, infantry, the spear point, excluding commandos and SASR. But I couldn't have done it without my brothers over in Cav either. So well done to those. I didn't appreciate them as much as what I should have until I got out of the military. Guys, how good is that picture too? Painted by Magoo from the God Squad. The bikers down in Melbourne. So good. In the Ukraine, you didn't know that. But enough of me. Guys and gals, if you want to go to the Air Force and you don't want to be a pilot, go to Jetstar. But if you want to go and you want to become Navy, be one of the submariners, be the strategic asset that denies China from our Pacific Ocean, or the waterways, or the South China Seas, then maybe that's where you want to go. Maybe you want to be locked into a submarine with other men they call sailors and seamen, which is weird. Probably tastes like chicken. That can't scream and no one can hear them when they do. Maybe you want to join the Army. Maybe you want to get all your tickets. Maybe you want to do an apprenticeship. Maybe you think that you've got leadership ability and you want to become an officer. Maybe you just want to come and be infantry and be part of the journey, the adventure, the mateship, the teamwork, the legacy. Well, I'm here to help you, and guys and gals, all I can do is say to you, the best thing that you can possibly do is come and join me on Patreon. Where is it? On the back, so we can have one-on-one counselling and assist you for the price of a coffee a month, and give you the dream. Because I've been out of the military for 10 years now, and I'm telling you now, there is no such thing as retirement in your wheelhouse. There's not. I'm retired, medically retired. It sucks. You think retirement would be awesome? No, it's not. You've got to find another piece, meaning, task, purpose, mission. Because no one else is doing it. And when they do, they're normally got their own responsibility. Maybe they're dealing with the problems with their head. Maybe they're dealing with the problems of the bum or the back or the knees or the ankles. Or a missus that used to look like she should have been on a calendar, but now that looks like she can't fit on it. It's up to you. Not trying to be nasty here. Our best friend will always be a dog. The world is in chaos. It feels like it's in flames, but it feels like the pendulum is swinging back to normality. Guys and gals, if you want stability, if you want finances, if you want advice, if you want mateship and tutorials on how to be the best version of yourself, and you want a one-on-one programmed for you through conversation, through learning, through advice from those that have walked every lane that you need to, including the atrocities, including the smells, the taste, the horrible shit that makes stories. Let's get in your wheelhouse and create the future you that will one day be sitting down maybe with a Sean Ryan on a podcast or a Joe Rogan as you did him out of this village. That's Kaz from the Trenches with Kaz. Happy to have you here. It is my pleasure, and you're sending me grey by the day with your great news, good news, but sometimes the ugly. Take it easy, I'm with you, and I still call Australia home. I wish I had the trucks and the big steaks, the big boobs, and the big guns being the USA. But Australia, it can't go wrong. See ya. Hey, team.
Okay, just quickly back there. So Zeke was saying that fly in, fly out for 8 years. See, so he's preparing for the military, and it's not about the money. Otherwise, he'd be still doing fly in, fly out. Absolutely. I haven't talked about PLA ships. I don't even know what that is, my man. I'm sorry. What else we got? Paddy, have you heard any prep advice for INT or SIG training? Again, anything you want to do, mate, just come and get onto the bat phone. I can't be coaching people through comments, team. You know, come and have a phone call. Let's get it done. I'm 18 and I feel like I have nowhere to go in life. I had a job when I was 15 or 16. I haven't worked in 2 years and I'm struggling to get a job at the moment. Duncan, mate, I don't know what's going on. There's plenty of places you can get a job depending on where you live, of course. What I'd encourage you to do is start the process soon, as soon as possible. So then you can still be looking at things that you can pull away from later. Fine. Yeah. But, yeah, go and start applying soon, my man. Mr. Buckrady's hit the thumbs up, folks. And guys and gals, it's an absolute pleasure to be here. Thanks for the donations, team, for the daughter in the future. Jump onto Patreon. I look forward to communicating with you and understand, guys and gals, that one day you're going to be looking backwards. Don't be looking back at the things you thought you wanted to do that never tried. If you see a girl and you're single, go and say hello to her. Take a chance. The shot you take, you've got a chance of getting in there, as they say in Dumb and Dumber. Join the military, give yourself some focus, give yourself some traction, become the best version of you, because every single country on earth respects a soldier. All right? Take it easy. And let's look out and let the world be in peace, please. Catch you later.